Welcome to the Nightmare Hour. I am your host, the Nightmare Man. Alongside with me is the ghoulish but gorgeous Princess Diva of the Dead.
Howdy do.
Howdy do to you too. What are we on the range now?
I'm fine. I just had Mexican and my
Oh,
tummy's full.
we've just
So nobody can sit there and say that I ate during the show today.
yeah, because you pre-ate.
I filled up already.
You already filled up. Hey, we got a great show lined
We
up
do.
here. Another Monsters Among Us alumni, Andrew Alexander.
Yep.
Who portrays the infamous and famous and all get out spooky.
Your baddest monster.
The one character I love in the horror movie genre, Michael Myers from Halloween. We're going to be talking with him later on. We had finally got a chance to get a hold of him because we have been sidetracked so many times with this and that, and
our whole life is a sidetrack.
That is true. That is very true.
Sometimes we get back on the right path and we jump right back off again.
That's right. We get right back up on our horse and go at
I do that several times a day.
That's true. So I think we're going to basically get down to the brass tacks of everything and get this the first part of the show taken care of, because the second part will be of Andrew's powwow. So
yeah.
I hate to start the show off in a sad note, but we have lost an important part of horror movie history. A gentleman by the name of Bill Hinzman has passed away. Bill was the very first zombie that you ever seen
in my favorite zombie movie,
Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
That's the movie that started it all for horror movies and televisions and stuff like that. For the
not only that, but also within the same movie, the mother of the character that plays Johnny, Russell Streiner, his mother passed this week too.
Wow.
So 2 losses within that movie in 1 week.
That's very sad. The Nightmare Hour goes out to the family and friends of them, and we wish them all the best. And it's sad to lose somebody like that. I wanted to meet him, Bill Hinzman, at one point in time, because like I said before, back in the 50s, you heard of zombie movies such as I Walked with a Zombie. Well, I think those were the type of zombies that were just, people that were put under a spell by a voodoo witch doctor or something like that. And they walked.
Spell on.
Yeah, but and all they did was walk around drooling, and they didn't do anything. They didn't go after anybody and eat their flesh or anything like that until later on in the 60s, when you seen George Romero's timeless classic, is when you actually seen the very first zombie that did all that havoc, and that was Bill Hinzman.
Most of the zombies in that movie, they moan. There's moaning zombies.
Do you moan?
And there's growling zombies, and there's hissing zombies, and I'm a hissing zombie.
You're a hiss. You don't moan?
No.
Just when.
Hey.
I see. Now you got me.
Now look, you
got me doing it now.
Now I'm gonna give you a Cadillac whack here in a minute, Mister.
You're perverting this rubbed off on me.
You're like, that's a problem.
Well, it wouldn't be the show without a little humorous and
that's the diva spice
in there. That's the diva spice.
Yeah, that's the diva spice.
But speaking of Bill Hinzman,
you have a plan to.
I have a plan.
Tribute.
Well, the thing about it is, with Monsters Among Us, one of the costume characters that I created, the cyborg assassin, I kind of had a change of plans in that. I just wasn't feeling that character. The costume itself was put together pretty good, but it's just something, it wasn't clicking with me. I just couldn't feel it.
I think with you is because it's something that doesn't click as a horror movie killer in your mind.
Yeah, you're right, because it isn't really it's more like a science fiction type deal, but I see your point what you're saying, but it's just even though Dexter Morgan's character, that although that's not a horror movie character, but he is listed as a monster. He's a clean monster.
Well, yeah, he's a monster. He's the Bay Harbor Butcher.
Yeah, and I'm sure that character is going to take off well. I mean, people are going to love that one, but the cyborg assassin just wasn't doing it for me. So what I decided to do, in honor of Bill Hinzman, I am going to do the Cemetery Zombie for Monsters Among Us. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that whole character for Sunday, the whole day
Right.
of Monsters Among Us.
And we went to the Goodwill and we found some suitable duds, and I got a
Score!
zombie 'em up. I know, right?
Everything.
And guess what else is a score too? Guess what else? This Sunday.
The music
is,
from 2001: Space Odyssey.
No. This Sunday is the return of Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead is
That's
coming
right.
back, baby. I should wear my
I'm
costume.
gonna be glued to the television.
The telly whaty?
The television.
The television?
Yeah, the television.
Work all day in the morning, sun. Daylight come, I wanna watch the television. Don't ask. I'm not telling. Or of course it'd be worse. I could start singing.
You
like
are not Jamaican.
I could start singing like Ethel Merman again.
No, you did that on the last show when we interviewed Mark Patton.
Yes, and exactly that. If you don't get a chance to get over to the
we had a midweek special.
Yes, I'm very surprised.
And it was very special.
Get your butts back over to the Nightmare Hour on YouTube and check out that interview we did with Mark Patton. That was a special little thing we threw in there. We was going to save it for an earlier or later show, but Diva backed me in a corner and threatened me.
He's an evil little turd, isn't he?
She twisted my arm and told me I should play it now for the fans. So,
well, yeah.
Mr. Diva had to comply.
Well, it was an hour interview, which they're usually about a half an hour long, because that's usually when we run out of things to say. But Mr. Mark Patton and me, we're both long-winded, so we just sat there just chit-chatting away. And
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
He had some slashes to take at Gary Busey and Heather Langenkamp.
Hey, we enjoyed every second of talking with him, man. He had a lot to talk about.
I just love him. He's so awesome.
He's the man. We love him.
I can't wait till our wedding when Jesse gets to give Diva to the Fred Krueger.
Are you going to spit it out here? You getting confused?
I got so much freaking energy right now. I can't even think straight.
So much to do and so
I can't
little
even sit
time.
still on my chair. Yeah.
Okay. What? Is that the communicator?
Yeah.
Is Mars signaling you again? Whatever. Yeah.
I know, right?
Well, like I said, in the recent passing of Bill Hensman, dedicated to him, All Day Sunday is going to be the Cemetery Zombie. We've got that set up.
I'm dancing on my butt.
Huh? I see that.
I'm dancing on my butt. If you lift just your butt cheek up, you can feel it when your tailbone raises up off the chair and goes back down.
Did you doing the cha-cha?
Is it cha-cha?
The cha-cha.
The chair cha-cha?
Hey, real quick, gang, before I forget, if I have mentioned this in the past, then fast forward this message, but I'm going to go ahead and say it now because, I just want to say it one more time for the record. Time frames of the show. It's not all the time I can be able to get the 8 o'clock hour on Fridays is lined up with the show. We do get sidetracked at times, and YouTube does have a slow process in uploading.
And we're going to be late to our own funeral because we're late for everything.
Well, I know that, but we have to work and try to get things going on with that. So what I decided to do is that Fridays, sometime on Friday, the show will be posted. Now, a lot of people will be able to find the shows because I post them on their pages. I post them on your pages, and then they take off like the domino effect there. And then people that are subscribed to the show get notifications.
That is correct.
So that is correct.
It took you a minute. Gee whiz.
Lady Vader.
Where's your humor today? I stuffed you full of Mexican food, and now you're just sitting there and you're all, I'm being serious. This is a show. I'm not going to joke around. None of that. That's right, buddy. None of that hanky-panky business.
Playing around, no crap. No, I am kind of laid back. I think I'm going to take a nap in a little bit. That Mexican
food. Well, get some gosh darn energy because I got plenty I can share.
Well, then go move the house over 2 inches then if you want to. But anyways,
does your Fred have to sit there and stare at me?
Yes, he does.
Because he doesn't have any eyes.
Well,
and his mouth is hanging open like he's ready for a burrito.
That is placed in an honor, and it's going to sit there. So you'll just have to look at it.
He can turn his head while I'm sitting here.
Here, I'll turn it this way like that. It's my old mask from when I used from back in the day at the horror.
Now don't twist.
Haunted Trail of Horror days, I used to wear that mask. So
yeah.
Then we upgraded. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying.
What were you saying?
Well, I know, because you sidetracked me.
It's easy.
Yeah, I know it is. The shows will be posted Fridays. I will not have a set time because sometimes I cannot make that time. So just count on the shows on Friday. It could be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, could be 8 in the morning.
Darling, I get your point. You can cut
I
that
got
out.
your point. It's going to be pointing right on top of your head, Fred. So I just want to pass that along.
Be like when I'm hunting dogs. Point
Point.
from that movie Up.
Bible.
That movie's fun.
Yeah. So let's see what else we got on the list here. Oh, keep an eye out in the near future. There is a channel on your cable system. I don't know how many
They
types of
also
cable.
have
I don't know how many types of cable systems that they have out there, but it's called YouTube, right?
right. And they also have a link online. You can go online and you can see the programs and stuff on there also.
What programs?
Well, like because they play Batman, they play this, they play that, they play the other. You can watch the shows and you'll actually be able to see people's little
Well,
fame spots.
Well,
What is a fame spot?
Yeah, well, I'll give you a little bit of information on exactly what this is. Basically, this channel is dedicated to the viewers. You can record fame spots. What are fame spots? Fame spots
It's
are
your 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah, that's right. You can. I mean, they during the shows that they run with the old Batman, Green Hornet, X Files, stuff like that. During the shows, they give you topics. Topics like the one that I did.
Yeah.
What was your
What do you miss about high school? What did you say? Macaroni and cheese day.
Mac and cheese
Come
day.
on, really?
They had killer mac and cheese. But then you can the topic, you record it, put it on there, and then eventually they will send you a notice and you can watch your fame spot on TV. It's called YouTube, YOUTOO. If you don't have it on your cable, call your cable company and
say,
request
give it to me now.
Give it to me now. And in the near future, what now they have is called people commercials. It's
Yes.
a 30-second
advertisement video.
Yeah, you can advertise anything you want. You promote your business, propose, or hey, I could have done that.
You can say, "Hi, I'm Billy Bud."
I could have done that on my computer and just proposed to you instead of just going to Days of the Dead.
No.
You could have watched it on TV.
I don't want to watch it on TV.
But anyways, we are going to be doing a promotional video pretty soon for the Nightmare Hour, so everybody can see it on television as well. You look like a monkey doing that.
Guess what?
What?
I love your
Lose your banana?
No, it's right here. I'm sorry.
As you were.
I touched you in a...
As you were.
Anyway, I forgot. Darn it.
Boy.
Oh wait, I remember.
I remember.
No,
Enlighten us.
You mentioned the proposal, and what I did was with the proposal picture, because people took tons of them. With the proposal picture, I had like months ago took that picture and I cropped it into a picture of the Nightmare on Elm Street house, and I put it there like as if you were proposing to me in front of that house. And so since our wedding is themed a zombie on Elm Street, what I did is I made an archway for us to get married under, and across the top it's this big old pink and black and white ribbon thing that says a zombie on Elm Street, and the podiums that come down the sides of it, there's a picture on each side of the picture that I did of you proposing to me, that I put the Nightmare on Elm Street house behind it. And it's really cool. And it says Nightmare and Diva.
And the one thing we're going to have to hopefully...
It should have said Mr. and Mrs. Diva.
Yeah, and then I would have thrown it into the pool.
No, you would not have, because you would have been Mr. Not Diva anymore.
Not Diva anymore. You talk like a mental patient.
Thanks.
Well, we're just going to have to hope that it's not windy that whenever day that we're going to have the wedding. Provided that we do have it outside. Now, nothing's etched in stone yet. We don't know any of that thing, but right now where it stands, we're hopefully going to work with Adolfo, and one of the ideas we thrown out there was that the possibility of having it by the pool.
Yep.
So now,
Nothing's
now
chiseled out yet.
we'll have to take that in consideration in the fact that if we do that, that thing doesn't blow. I mean, last year in July was. I mean, it
Oops.
wasn't windy or anything like that outside, but still, we have to take that in consideration. So I'm sure it will all work out fine.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine.
It'll be just fine.
It'll be fine.
Fine.
Hey,
I'm fine.
you fine?
I'm fine. You fine? I'm fine.
No, I'm ready for a nap. That's what I am.
Charlie, let's go to Candy Mountain.
You're on drugs. I swear you on crack.
I got a lot of energy today. I'm trying to hold it in and it won't
I
stay in.
see that too. Hey, last weekend, the last show that we did, we had the
We
great
were
fortune.
announcing that we were going to have a visitor.
Yeah. The last show we had Larry Lutz on the show, and
You
then
said it right.
and then that yes, I
Yay,
know.
Good job.
I'm a good boy.
High
High five, yeah. And that past weekend, him and his wife came down for a visit, and Ingrid, and we had one hell of a time. We did a photo shoot with him and the big bad wolf costume.
We took the big bad wolf to the cemetery, and we're standing there taking pictures of the big bad wolf standing in front of this big beautiful mausoleum, and in comes a car to visit their dead ones. And they drive right past us. We had to get out of the way. I cannot imagine what they thought about what
Could you imagine I'm sure this was probably somebody that was putting flowers on the grave or something like that. And could you imagine the conversation when they got back home? And yeah, I went to go put flowers on cousin Ethel's grave, and all of a sudden at the mausoleum, I see this giant werewolf standing there.
He's all bloody and gross. And there was a little girl that was screaming because the werewolf attacked her.
Oh my goodness!
And Mary's got a scream on her, doesn't she?
Yeah, Scary Mary was part of the photo shoot.
That's right. And the only way to get a good scream picture of someone is to make them actually scream.
Which in that cemetery woke up the entire population of the dead.
And do you know how I learned that?
Why?
And even as a photographer, I did not know this until last year, October, when we were working at the Haunted Trail of Horror, and the haunt enthusiasts came through and they took pictures of all of us monsters, and they wanted to take a picture of me. And now you know that when I'm there and it's my turn to scare the people, I jump out of the wall and scream, right?
Right.
And so they wanted a picture of me doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I make the face, and I'm acting like I'm crawling out of the wall, and I make the scream face, and they're like, no, you have to actually scream. I'm like, why? Well, they said that it's the only way to get a true scream picture. You have to actually scream. And it's true. Scream. Mary's pictures look fabulous.
You gotta scream.
I said that a little southern. Fabulous.
Yeah, we had a great time. We didn't get a chance to do the photo shoot out at the Lawrence Woods because it was getting a little bit dark, and your camera didn't.
Well, I just got that brand new camera, and they failed to send me the book that goes to it. And
so you downloaded the.
But wait!
The ant version of it. No, I'm going to right speed. I'm going to right speed on here.
Slow down.
It's funny.
Put on the brakes, please. Would you please give me a second?
The floor is all yours.
Okie doke. That's a big floor. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Said it before, I said it again. I think you're the Antichrist. Anyway.
Anyways, where were we?
I had
just got a new camera.
Yeah.
And I hadn't read up on it because they didn't give me the book. I did find the book online, but not in time for the night pictures that I wanted to take of the big bad wolf in the woods, which would have been awesome.
Oh yeah, they would.
But the camera is on the wrong setting to take night pictures. It leaves the shutter open too fast, and I know that went right over your head and you don't know what I'm talking about.
Huh?
But
a tiger shark.
So I couldn't get good night pictures. Anyway,
understandable.
So we get home and I find the instruction manual online, and I decide, okay, cool. Since I don't care if my printer does have an attitude and wants to print it in pink, pink is okay. Whatever it is, it'll be readable.
Pink is
right.
Pink is yeah.
No, not right at all.
Dun, dun,
this
dun.
Printer, I swear, is possessed by the freaking devil.
I know it is possessed by the freaking devil. Look who its owner is. Hey.
But no, I start to print this book. It's 174 pages. That's a lot of pages. But what does it do when it starts to print? it prints it in the size that an ant would read. The whole page was about empty, and then the only part that was printed on was about the size of an index card. And they took
Smaller
a whole
than.
page and they shrinked it down to an index card size. And I swear, a whole sentence is only 3 inches long. You freaking kidding me?
Well, you have to get out your spyglass.
Not
and read
only
it
that,
then.
but the printer decided that it wasn't going to be aligned. And not only is the print small, but it's a little bit blurry because
Jabberwold.
it's not on there right. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I just printed 174 pages of garbage. Of garbage.
That's why
Stick it in
as
the
soon-
burn pile.
as soon as income tax time rolls around here, I am going to get a standard printer for just
For you,
know,
yeah,
little
but
bit.
not for my photo business, because if I print customers' pictures on just a standard printer, you're going to see lines and flaws and pixels in it, and
That is
you
true.
can't give those kind of pictures
That is true.
to people that pay you.
But well, yeah, I hope you
I'll
get it.
just
You need
finish
to
the fight with the printer.
take a baseball bat to it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gotta do it if you gotta do it.
As Larry and Ingrid was laughing at you.
You
got
all
small-
were laughing
you
at me.
got
I
small
was
print.
having a fit.
We had a good time. Well,
You
anyways.
have to be Tinkerbell to read it.
Well, anyways, regardless of your printing,
Oh, unless you have a
perils.
magnifying glass.
Yeah, that's what I just got done saying, dear. Read a
When
memo.
did you say that?
Read a memo once
Did
in a
you
while.
really say that?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
When we're done with the show, we can rewind it, and I'll show you exactly when I said that. So you need a magnifying glass for it. That's well, at least I think that's what Larry said in the beginning.
You know what?
He's the one that said
I don't
that.
even hear you say that. I didn't hear you say that at
I
all.
know.
I didn't know you
It's
said
like the
it.
wind in between your ears, isn't it?
Hey, you want me to hurt you?
It's the wind. Hey, something that just reminded me. While you was tinkering with the machine, Larry and I was also talking about movies.
Movies?
I was showing him, like the Batman movies and stuff like that, and I was pulling DVDs off the rack, and one of the movies I decided, I looked at it and said, well, I think I want to watch this movie later on when the dust settles in the evening, and we'll sit down to a good movie.
Yes, you did.
And the movie that I pulled out
for Sunday's evening photos
was
Listen, I'm all photos in the brain.
Viewing pleasure. Let's
yes,
try that
let's
one.
go viewing pleasure.
Yeah,
for Sunday night movie night.
The Sunday night movie night. The movie I picked was the original Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, and then later that day, after you had already picked the movie, later that day we find out that the zombie guy died.
That Bill Hinsman passed away. That was kind of
that was coincidental and a half, right?
Yeah, because we have 1,000,001 movies over there. I could have picked any, but I picked this one.
Can I
tie
this?
And then hours later, I find out that Bill Hinsman passed away. I thought that was very strange. But very strange. But on to another subject, and I'm going to give you the reins of this one because
a subject that irks me to no end.
Because it looks like you on the warpath when it came to what you found
out.
Yeah,
and some of these people don't agree with my views on this, but everybody has their own opinion. However, I don't agree with what happened. Here's what happened. Earlier this week, there was someone who was on my friends list that is no longer on my friends list because of this. This person posted a picture online on Facebook.
Right.
And this picture was of 3 women in 2-piece bikinis. And these women are probably around the 400-pound range. They're very large. These women were smiling like they were happy and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
This person, I don't know where he got the picture from, but he posts this picture and he puts a caption on the picture saying, having a whale of a good time. Excuse me, but why did he feel it necessary to make a comment on the picture that has to do with the woman's size?
I don't know.
That pisses me off.
What was
Everybody has a right to be happy. And who is he to judge? It's judgmental to judge those women because of their size. And if you're a skinny girl who wears mini skirts and dresses nice and all that stuff, then automatically you're a slut or a whore.
Well, where did the picture actually? Was it just?
It showed up on my newsfeed wall.
Was it in somebody's albums,
It
or
said that
was it?
he shared the picture from somewhere else.
Uh,
He found the picture and decided that he was going to comment about it.
is it
And
not like
so
a? Is it like, I don't want to sound bad. Is it like a novelty picture? Was it doctored up? Is this a
it
real
wasn't
picture,
it
or
wasn't doctored up at all. These three ladies were standing on a sidewalk in front of a building, and they were all smiling and doing a
and they're all
pose
heavy
and
set women, but they're in bikinis.
right. But
Huh.
he felt that he had to make a comment, and so me, with the no brain to mouth filter, I had to get on there, and this time it was brain to finger filter. And I had to get on there and I had to give him a piece of my mind about why did he feel like he had to make fun of the women's weight. Oh, I didn't make fun of their weight, he says, and I don't have nothing against big people. And then right after he says that, the next part of what he says, "Oh, it's not my fault if you had to throw flour on them to find the wet spots." Excuse the fuck out of me. I don't think so.
Well,
He got deleted as a friend after I made another comment to him, which was not very nice. When I was in high school, I weighed 97 pounds. And I was the girl who dressed pretty all the time and wore mini skirts because that's what I was comfortable in. And I still have and can fit into one of my high school mini skirts.
ooh,
It's a stretchy kind.
interesting.
But the point is, when I was in high school and I wore these things, I got called slut and whore and throwed pennies at and this kind of stuff. I was picked on for my size. We are all different. We're all made from a different piece of cloth. We're different colors. We speak differently. We dress differently. We're different sizes and shapes. Excuse the hell out of me. I mean, who are you to say, "Oh, that person doesn't look like," ha ha ha, and make fun of them? I don't think so. Everybody has feelings,
They do. They do.
and that's not right. And so I took the picture and shared it from his wall to my wall and copied and pasted the rude comments that he made about the picture. And then my Facebook wall blew up. I had hundreds, literally hundreds of people commenting on it.
Go diva. Go
It
diva.
pissed me off.
Go on
You
with your
know,
bad self. Give them hell.
yes, I've lost weight in the last couple of years, but I was almost 200 pounds. I was up in the 190s. I was almost 200 pounds. I know what it's like to be on both ends of the spectrum.
Well, the world, and I don't have to tell you this, and I don't have to tell our listeners this. The world will never grow up. Um, it's all about the supermodels and the this and the that's, and nobody looks at people for what they are truly made to be, and that's in their heart. They don't look at that
Right.
anymore.
But
It's
there's
sad that they have to be this way, but it is also fortunate enough that we have friends in our circle that have the same views as we do about
well, yeah, and we
loving a
have friends
human
of all sizes.
being for just that, being a human, not
Exactly.
for how big they
Well, some of them I
are.
can debate whether or not they're human, but
Yeah, we do have some friends that are. I think they're from outer space. That's the only thing I can come up
but
with.
the
But
only thing else that I have to say about it is the only time that someone should care about themselves, how much they weigh, big or small, or how much whatever they look like, is when it's a health issue or when they're not happy when they look in the mirror. If they're happy with themselves, leave them the hell alone. Be
yeah,
happy for them.
let them
Why do
go.
you have to go being all negative?
Well, that's like I said. That's the way the world is.
Well, not in my house.
We haven't gone forward in life. We've gone back, and we're just primitive, and we don't know any better, and we never will.
Well, I was taught to be better than that.
Well, I was too, but you can't you can't change the world's mind. The world has to change on its own. It's unfortunate enough that people out there do make, and it's like, the one thing I don't like is that people that make fun of the mentally handicapped. My uncle passed away last year, and he had Down syndrome. I grew up in that family area knowing that he was a human. He was my uncle, and I don't, when people would snicker, they like, we're at a family reunion or something like that at a park or something, and there's other kids that show up on the park, and they, we've caught them one time laughing.
But let me
And
ask you
I
this.
just that irks me too. That's
Some
grounds for getting five across the lip in my book.
some people have different views on the point that I'm about to make. And my view on it, before I even say anything about it, my view on it is it's funny. And it's not because I'm making fun of someone or that I think that they're not acceptable human beings because they're different. That's not it at all. But it is funny, especially when you do it, because you do it. It's funny when you do your impersonation of Sam from I Am Sam, or when you do your impersonation of Rain Man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But some people view that as you are looking down upon the people with mental and physical handicaps. But I don't see it that way because it's really funny when you make those impersonations.
No, it's. I'm not.
It's
I'm
all
not
in fun and
hurting
good.
it.
It's not something to down upon
It's
someone.
just characters. They're fictional characters made up in a movie.
Right.
I
But
don't. I
some
don't go
people
walk.
see it as you're making fun of someone who's, forgive my lack of a better term, retarded.
I don't walk outside my house and walk down the street and see someone with a handicap and start making fun of them. I don't do that. I mean, that's not how I roll. These are
Right.
just characters in a show, just like Forrest Gump. I do Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And everybody says that Forrest Gump, he's a little slow like that. They're just characters in a show.
Yeah.
Nobody has to get bent out of shape for that. If I was making fun of my uncle, then there's all the grounds for me to get an ass whipping, and I would deserve it. But people just need to look at things differently. To let them
Right.
know right here and there where my views lie, so that they ain't judgmental on me. And
Right.
it's, well, the Nightmare Man, he ain't nothing but a this and that. No, these people know how I roll, and they should understand that, and they shouldn't get on my shit about things, because I am all for everybody, man, and everybody's for me, and one for all, and three for five, and six for a quarter.
You know what we forgot to mention so far?
That the air that runs through your head actually
A
moves at
few
95
days ago,
miles per hour,
no, a few days ago, on
and it doesn't
Tuesday,
stop for breaks.
on Tuesday,
Tuesday. That's between Monday and Wednesday, eh? I'll let you talk. Anyways,
I don't know
Tuesday.
if I want to continue this relationship.
Hey, the door's right over there. Get to
Speaking of
stepping.
relationship and speaking of Tuesday, what was Tuesday?
That
2709.
was spaghetti and
It was three.
spaghetti and meatball
It
day.
actually was. We made spaghetti that day. That's not right.
The Tuesday was our 3-year anniversary back with each other.
That's right.
And
guess how many more is going to be?
too damn
Forever.
Ever.
You will never be rid of me.
No! Oh, God.
Okay, turn
Okay,
on
what?
the music. I want to do some
Turn on
movie
the music?
reviews.
The music?
Yeah.
Hey, gang, guess what time it is? And it's time for Diva's movie reviews, and she got a couple of good ones here for you, kiddies. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to the lovely Miss Diva of the Dead.
This week we watched two movies that we've had for quite some time. One was the Titanic.
I'm king of the world!
Actually, the Titanic is tied to be first place movie for me of all time. Titanic is tied with what other movie?
The Lives and Times of
No,
Herschel
you should know what it is.
McFableton.
We also watched it this week, actually. Pretty Woman.
Pretty
They're
Woman.
my two favorite movies. I don't know why, but they really are. I love Titanic. It tells a good story, and you get information, and the actors are good to look at, especially Mr. Leonardo.
The actors are good to look at.
Yeah.
What do you find in Leonardo DiCaprio? He doesn't.
His smile. He's a great face.
Oh well, if you say so.
Well, I like your eyes.
I like
I like lots of things about you.
What was the actress's name in Titanic? Rose. I just know her by
I
Rose.
keep thinking her first name is Kate something.
It could be Kate. It could be.
Now I gotta run and go get it.
Our helper that reminds us. And there she goes. Come on, hurry up. We'll wait on you.
I'm looking.
everybody wants to just talk amongst yourself until Diva gets back, pick a topic. Aluminum siding.
My boobies bounce when
It's
I
a
run.
great thing. I bought some last year, and it's still in the garage. And the winner is
Kate Winslet. I was right.
Kate Winslet. Yeah.
I thought it was Kate.
The
I'm not good with movie names.
the scene where she is naked on the couch and the Jack is drawing her.
Yeah.
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 And he
That's what I'm
blushes.
talking about. Yeah, baby.
And she's all, why so serious?
Why so serious? Let's put a drawing on that paper.
What?
A naked one at that.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I love that movie.
Titanic.
And another movie that we watched, and it was Trick or Treat
Trick or
with
treat.
Sam.
Little Sam, the
Yep.
character Sam.
Daddy, I'm done with trick or treating.
Why, if you people haven't watched that movie,
You
get to
gotta watch
watching
it.
it because it's a
There's
very
a major flaw in that movie.
well put together movie. What is it?
Do you know what the flaw is in that movie?
No.
And it bothers me every time I watch it. You know, I'm a person who pays attention to detail.
Right.
I've done lots of inspection things, and it's just come by nature since then. But anyway, when the principal, when they go to his house to do trick or treat, and he had just got done killing
Principal Wilkins.
Yes, Mr. Wilkins. But when he just got done killing little fat Billy,
It's not little fat Billy.
what's his name?
His name is not Billy. His son's name is Billy.
Oh, that's right. It's
I don't know what the
oh
kid's name is.
crap!
He's a little fat kid with curly hair. He's
Damn
he's
it.
tipping over
I know his
pumpkins
name.
and stealing candy.
Right,
Charlie.
Charlie. That's
I
it.
think it's Charlie.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I had the names backwards. But anyway, he gets done killing him, and he's dragging the boy into the house. And just as he gets the door closed, the
Up.
trick or treaters ring the bell.
Well, yep, Chuck's
Okay.
on him though.
Right. He up Chuck's on his
Shirt.
but not over his shoulder. It was the front of his shoulder. And then he tucks the boy away wherever he tucked him away to because the trick or treaters came to the door. And when he opens the door and the trick or treaters are there, well, wouldn't you have it? There's tons more blood on him, and it's over his shoulder, hanging down his back. And the next time you see him in the same shirt, the blood is different. And then when he's out in the yard, his shirt's totally freaking clean. He's a Houdini, man.
He's a frickin' Houdini!
The makeup artist who did the whoever, the wardrobe person or whatever, what they should have did is made him several shirts
Paid attention.
with it on there and paid more attention, because I'm an amateur and I even noticed that, and I would not have, that was a major no-no.
Yeah, that is true.
That was a major no-no. Even Larry even noticed it too when he was
The
here.
trick or treaters that showed up looking for pumpkins, they thought it was a great Halloween costume. He had a bloody shirt.
Right. But it didn't
They
have
just-
anywhere close to as much blood as what the kids
Yeah,
seen
they didn't match.
when we seen it last.
Well, there you go. Bloopers in action.
That's right. It's a major flaw, and it gets to me every time I watch that movie. I'm like, oh my god! It's
You
as
should
if
write
you
your-
could reach into the freaking movie and
And
make his shirt right,
And tell
because
Mr.
it
Wilkins
bugs
to
the hell out of
change
me.
how he got that blood and goo on his shirt. It really
Yes.
makes me sicking to my stomach. 'Cause after I watched
Always
that,
check your candy.
yeah, I would never ever. After watching that scene, I would never ever would want to eat a piece of candy because
I
when
was
the
eating
kid's
chocolate while I was watching it.
when the kid's sitting there and eating Wilkinson's candy, it's all poison. And then all of a sudden he starts getting sick, and all he is doing is puking up liquid
Literally his
chocolate
guts,
and
too.
stuff. And that makes
There was
oh
chunks.
god, I cannot stand to look at that. And it just if somebody would hand me a Snickers bar right then and then, I'd say, sorry, I do not want one. It
The
just
best part
turns
of
my
that
stomach.
movie, there's two parts that I like the best. And
Yeah.
one is when little Billy Wilkins is yelling out the window and, oh, play the clip.
Play the clip.
Yes.
Okay.
Daddy! I'm back from trick-or-treating!
Billy, shh, please be quiet,
Why?
because you'll bother the neighbors. Go watch Charlie Brown, and I'll be in a minute.
Charlie Brown's an asshole!
Billy Wilkins, language.
Yep, that's little Billy. He's a cute kid. And
He's
he
adorable.
and he follows in his father's footsteps too. They're both psychotic.
But you have to help me with the eyes.
It's a great movie. You gotta watch it. Trick or Treat. Watch it. Rent it.
It's a very good movie.
And you too will be yelling out the
We have
window.
the soundtrack from it.
Yeah, it's a music score. There's nothing, nobody sings on it or anything
Right.
like that. So, yeah, Trick or Treat, great movie. Special time of the year when you always got to remember to check your
Life is good.
check your candy. Ooh, time for the howdy. It's a big howdy.
Yes.
Going out to Amanda Dill, and Amanda Dill is
She is going to be doing some jewelry for the wedding.
awesome. Homemade jewelry.
Yes.
Cool.
And say hi to Larry Loops and his wife Ingrid, and to Mark Patton, and to Ashley and Jeff McCall-Lakey,
Yeah. And James Updegraff.
and James Updegraff.
Big
He
house.
is making you a Freddy face.
That is right. We're going to have a new look for Monsters Among Us, so I can't wait to get here.
I know, right?
We're going to be in Fred mode. We have to do some new pictures.
I know.
Get that camera out that you don't know how to work it with.
Yes, I do know how to work it. I just got to figure out, read the instructions on what setting they changed in it, because it's got all kinds of more gadgets than my other camera did.
If I had noticed on the back of your camera, I think it says Fisher Price on it, but
It does
I'm
not.
not sure, but
That's a FUBAR statement.
that is a FUBAR statement.
Yes,
Well,
it is.
big howdy going out to all you guys, and we hope to see you again real soon. I know we will see Larry and him soon next month. It'll be Monsters Among Us.
Yes, and also a howdy going out to Adolfo, the man who has put it all together.
Yeah, Adolfo Duarte, the guy
That's right.
the man that's running, and he's doing a lot. I bet he is busier than a cat covering up 3 piles of his stuff at this point in time. 'Cause it's
He's
coming down
probably
the
a
wire,
real busy
man.
man.
Coming down to the wire. Big howdy to him and everybody else. You are also dear and kind to us.
I must need a nap. I'm yawning.
What happened to the energy?
I don't know. It just bottomed out just now. It
Wow,
made me
for-
yawn.
1 minute you're all straddling the chair like you're getting ready
What?
to ride that bull for 8 seconds, and the next thing you know, I'm tired and I want to go to bed. My God. Well, I tell
My
you,
energy level changes as fast as my facial expression.
I guess it would be. And now it's time for our powwow with Mr. Andrew Alexander.
Yes, it is.
So without further ado, here we go.
Here we go.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
We have with us on the show tonight another Monsters Among Us monster.
We do.
Yes, we do. You know him from the horror conventions as the immortal Michael Myers,
He's creepy.
which is my favorite horror movie character of all time. And you will get a chance to see him this March, to be up and close and personal with the Shape himself. So please welcome to the Nightmare Hour, Mr. Andrew Alexander. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing awesome. How y'all doing?
We are doing great, man. We are great, and I'm finally happy that we got a chance to talk to you after all these sidetracking that we've been doing.
It would be
Yes,
torture
I
if
know
I
how
tied
it
your
is.
hands down.
It's getting close. You know, with days drawing closer, it's just going to get more and more hectic.
Are you getting excited?
I am. I'm always excited about a convention, but more so this one. You know, it's more so in my backyard than any of the other ones that I've been being a patron of the past year and a half or so.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, the first time that I ran into you, I believe, was at Cincinnati. The first time we showed up at Horror Hound, I believe. And Diva and I were out of costume, but you was in costume, and I think you had a Freddy Krueger around with you somewhere.
I did. He wasn't there with me, but he was one of Jeff's friends.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And when I laid eyes on you, I had to take a double take, and I had to get a picture of you because your costume is phenomenal. I mean, it's just like Myers walked right off the screen and into this convention.
Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that.
Oh,
That's
it's
the look I'm going for.
oh, it is. I mean, and I looked at, and we got pictures and everything, and then I went to Diva and I said, we need a Michael Myers like that out at the Haunted Trail.
Yeah.
Because you are just, I mean, because I'm going to brag on you because you're my favorite character. You're the Michael Myers. It just looks spooky and just right down to movie quality, man. I mean, it's cool.
He stood there by Mark Patton at Days of the Dead for like over an hour. He just stood there creeping people out.
Yeah, we talked to Larry a while back, Larry Lutz, and he told me that was you that I was playing around with at Days of the Dead near Mark Patton. Is that right?
It was.
I'll tell you, and when we
You
talked,
didn't even know it.
I told Larry and all them, I said, when I see Andrew, I'm going to have to apologize to him because, brother, I did not realize that was you.
Even I knew.
I did not know it was him.
How could you not know? He's got the best Michael Myers costume.
Well, how many costumes, per se with the movies do you have, Andrew, as far as Michael Myers?
Actually, typically, I'm only doing 2 right now at the moment. I'm doing an original Halloween 2, and then I'm doing the remake Dream Sequence Halloween 2.
Okay.
Those are the 2 I do. Actually, now that I think about it, the Michael Myers that I think that you were messing around with, that was sitting next to Mark Patton or always around in his area, that was not me.
Okay. Well, it's like, when he said that, I had no idea that was you.
Yeah, I'm trying. I was around so much at that time, and I know there were multiple times when we were messing around and stuff, and there was another Michael Myers that was around the same area. So I'm not 100% sure if that was me you were messing with that you're thinking of or not. So.
Well, see, I think the costume of Rob Zombies. I know you had that, correct?
Yes, I was there in it at Days, and then I had the original looking Michael Myers from the original Halloween 2 there that day.
Right. Yeah. How I know that is because of the fact is that me, Diva, and you had our picture taken near the piano in the lobby.
Yep.
And I got that on my Facebook pictures, but yeah, that's that. You couldn't have Monsters Among Us without Michael Myers, and they couldn't have picked a better person than you, man, and the talents that you have as far as your costumes go.
Well, he's just it's kind of been my forte. That's the character that has always been my icon as far as slasher movies go.
Yeah.
And I've been portraying him for years, and you can have a great looking costume, and as doing your Krueger, you can have a great looking costume, but if you don't have the character down, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I was saying this a while back that a lot of you guys got it easy, and I have talked to this to people out there where I work at the Haunted Trail that I move around and talk and everything because of Freddie's a talker, and all that, but you have to have that if you're a non-talker, if you're a non-talking monster, you have to move and walk just like your character. And when we pass you by in the halls of the conventions, you're walking just like the shape, man. You got it down pat.
That's that's what I go for. I'm glad, and I always enjoy it when a fellow costumer like yourself, or actually I don't even consider us costumers. I mean, we think we're kind of beyond that.
Yeah.
But when you see the effort that they put into the mannerisms and just the body language of the character. So.
Yeah, that's because I go by that too. I played Michael Myers 1 year at the Haunted Trail, and you just got to have those moves. The Spectre walking type of things that just.
It's a little harder than most people realize.
Oh yeah. People just think, well, you just put on a mask and and walk out there, you know, everybody's excited, but there's a lot of work into everything, you know, with a Jason Voorhees, a Freddy Krueger, and a Michael Myers. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
And a pretty zombie.
And a pretty zombie, too.
Pretty zombie. You've got to have a
Oh,
pretty
Andrew,
zombie.
I'll tell you what, brother, you ain't seen nothing yet. When you get into that room, Diva's going to have her room all blinged out and pink and everything like that, so...
I'm looking forward to it. I guarantee you, buddy, I am looking forward to it.
It'll be pretty, but it'll be bloody too.
Yeah, I was...
Everybody has to see pretty. Everybody expects Diva's stuff to be pretty.
So if it gets too, you know, freaky for us, we'll just we'll take a vote and we'll stick her out in the front in the lobby, and maybe she can pass out brochures to everybody. or something.
Hey,
Like it.
you're a mean ass.
Well, let me go ahead and let's go back in time, Andrew, to the days of your first experiences with horror and Halloween. Just give us a lowdown, man. How'd it go for you as a kid?
Well, like most of us that are in our age bracket, of course, being young and in the 80s when you had probably one of the best time ever for, horror in general,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Those were like the heyday of the awesome. Going to the movie store, picking out the movie, buy the box art, finding something that grabs you just right, having sleepovers Friday, Saturday nights, and, not sleeping any at all.
Oh yeah.
Completely consumed by the horror genre. And then I've always been a Halloween, the holiday nut in general, costuming and everything. And just around here, kind of a small town area where I grew up, we had the classic downtown Halloween carnivals, and, it was quintessential Halloween, small town Halloween. And it's always been a high point of my year ever since I can remember. And I just still hold true to that today.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool.
When did you first start going to conventions and dressing up?
Well, I started my first, as far as Michael Myers, was probably around '97. I got my first Don Post Michael Myers mask.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was working at, believe this or not, I was working at my local Walmart here in the community where I grew up, and they were having, I was off on Halloween night, but they were having a costume contest for each shift. And even though I wasn't working, they wanted to still come by, take our picture, and then all the other people working that night were going to vote on the best costume for each shift.
Right.
So I went down, did my thing, walked around the store, and that's what kind of got me into, made me realize how people view Michael Myers and how freaked out some people can really get by him. And I ended up winning my shift, the first place for my shift and everything. And then since then, even to today, I have to go back to that Walmart on Halloween night, dressed up as Michael Myers, and walk the store for a couple of hours. Just kind of stalk people between the aisles, hang
There's
out
something
the
to
shelves
see
and
at
stuff.
Walmart.
But anyway, I started that then, and my first convention was actually Horror Hound in Cincinnati in November of 2010. And from then on, I've just been hooked.
Wow.
I've tried to make as many each year as I possibly could.
And once Monsters Among Us takes off, people are going to start noticing the costume community as far as convention goes. And, I wouldn't be a bit surprised that we're all going to be a household name from now on when this happens. And
Not
and
only
like
that, we're going to inspire other people to start costuming too.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And
Exactly. That's always been one of my things. I've always loved helping other people that needed it, and look, and as trying to get theirs as screen accurate as possible. I love inspiring and helping anyone else that's into the costuming scene.
Oh yes, most definitely. We got a friend of ours named Rachel, and she could be a dead ringer, provided that she would get the right hairstyle and the attire. She could go as Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode in the 1978 movies. I swear to
That
God,
would
she
be
can.
great. I've tried to talk my wife into going that route, but she's just not that big into the costume thing.
Oh,
She
she's-
likes to go take the pictures, follow me around, and everything. But as far as donning any costumes herself or getting a particular look, she's not that into that.
Not into that, huh? Well, to each his own. Everybody's got their own thing, I mean,
Exactly.
Um,
She just enjoys going and watching me
Well, there you go. Well, one of these days, maybe we'll get Rachel together with you, and then we'll do some photo shoots, man. Because I think that would be a blast. I think
would be.
that
It
would
really would be.
that would be
Rachel's
great.
hard to motivate with that stuff, though.
Yeah, we need to get our friend needs to get motivated a little bit more. And we try to drag her to these conventions and stuff. And I told her, I said, there is a kick-ass Michael Myers that shows up at these conventions. I said, you guys need to collaborate together and get pictures. And then the next thing you know, she might be the next Deandra, a Nancy impersonator. This one would be for
Yeah.
Laurie Strode. You never know. Have you met Deandra?
I did. I met her at Dave's. I didn't get to speak to her very long, but I did get to meet her and talk to her for a little while.
She's
Yeah.
a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's
And
going
her
in.
dad too. I talked to her dad for a little bit.
Yeah, she's going into the heroine type for the
Yeah.
cosplay. You know, we do the bad guys, and then she does the good guys, which I commend her on it. And
I think there's an outlet for it.
Yeah.
There's you got to have the good with the bad. So
oh, most definitely. And one of these days, just like I ran into a Nancy, you'll run into a Laurie Strode, man, and then it'll be magic.
Exactly.
Oh hell yeah. Okay, I've talked to a lot of people right now, and I found out what they're bringing to Monsters Among Us room as far as goodies and
Decorations.
whatever that they're going to have at their table. Can you give us a sample of what you're going to be bringing to Monsters Among Us?
Well, as far as just the table and layout, I'm going to go with just more of a subtle, simple, the Halloween feel. Fall, leaves, pumpkin, just basic with that. And I'll have probably some posters there and some postcard size photos to hand out for anybody that wants anything autographed and stuff like that. Not really bringing any merchandise per se to try to sell or anything. I just want to have something there. If there's someone interested in an autograph, picture, just something they can carry home with them with their experience. And of course, I'll be there taking all the pictures that they'll be, willing to take with me, and just trying to keep it a little bit more low key, like the way Michael likes it. So.
There you go. That's sweet. That is sweet. Well, I tell you what, most definitely, I will have to get a picture with you again because, like I said, even though I run around these conventions as the infamous Freddy Krueger, but my loyalty as a horror fan, as far as a slasher, it is Michael Myers. I mean, that was the first movie I ever seen as far as slasher films when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I didn't stay that long in the theater. I was only in there for like 8 minutes, and I got scared. And so I had to sit in the lobby. But then, after I grew up and was brave enough to sit through these movies, then that's when I got the full taste of Michael Myers, and then I was hooked ever since. I mean,
I haven't had a movie scare me yet.
you haven't had a movie scare you?
No.
Well,
Not yet.
Not even when I was a kid.
There's
what,
always the first time.
There wasn't any movies that scared me to where I couldn't sleep or made me scream or any of that.
well, Michael Myers was just like, the thing about it is, you got Freddy as a burnt face, and you got Leatherface as a creature that wears skins, and then you got Jason Voorhees who wears a hockey mask. But the Michael Myers character is just this pale white face with black eyes, and it's the scariest face that you could ever possibly know of.
He's an everyman. He could be anybody,
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is, it really chuckles because that face was taken from a William Shatner mask.
That's correct.
So I can picture myself. If I was to dress up like Michael Myers, I would have to do a little William Shatner. I'm going to Haddonfield. And
God.
beat me down, Scotty.
Wow.
But yeah,
What you need to do is get you a new Shatner mask, and then you can just do you could do a Michael Myers as William Shatner.
that is true. That is true. But
There's a couple of indie mask makers now that are reproducing custom Shatner masks that the Myers mask was converted from now. So and there you go.
well, that's cool because you know what? A while back in the past, I tried to find places that they sold the William Shatner mask, and then I was just gonna get one and an alternate. But for the life of me, back in the day, man, I could not find that anywhere. I
I tell
could.
you, the whole indie mask making scene has come a long way the past 2 or 3 years as far as being able to find available quality masks.
Right.
I can remember, like I said, when I first started doing the Michael Myers deal, the best you had was a Don Post, the masks and everything.
Yep,
and,
I had
they
'em.
were as good as they could be at the time. But once I started finding the independent makers, I was in hog heaven.
Oh, I bet. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the mask that I started out with too. I got a Don Post, and then when I played Michael Myers out at the trail, they had bought an upgrade version. I can't remember exactly where it was from. It could have been, one of the earlier later on movies, but yeah,
Right.
Don Post, man, that's the one I grew up on. And nowadays you look at the costume stores and you don't really see as good Michael Myers masks. You have to really go online to order them and stuff.
You really do, and hopefully, if my maker I've got him working on a newer, updated version of my original H2, and I'm hoping that he'll have ready for me to carry with me when we go to Atlanta here first of next month. So, keep my fingers crossed. He's a very busy man, and does awesome work. And I'm hoping he can get it done for me.
Oh, well, good luck to him, man. I hope he does, because I reverting back to what I said before when I told Diva about it, I said, you go to these conventions and you look at all these costumes, but one costume catches your eye that you can't get enough of. And like I told her, I said, man, we would love to have somebody like you at the trail. The Michael Myers we do have isn't really what it's cracked up to be. There could be changes, but if we brought you into the mix, it'd be all she wrote, man. They would.
Well, that's what, and I would love to be able to come up there and do that for you, because I've actually done work in haunted house. Been doing local small haunted houses for the past several years, and then this year I actually got hired on and was able to work Atrox Factory, which is it's actually a nationally ranked top 10 as far as haunted houses in the United States. So I was very, very blessed and surprised to be able to be brought on their roster. So.
Oh, Ben, man, I bet. Oh, yeah, just get a job like that. I mean, that's a fun job to have.
It is.
I mean, and I've been doing it for 10 years, and it's Diva's second year out there, and my daughter, Scary Mary's second year, too. And it's fun that you can scare the hell out of people and get paid for it in the process.
Exactly. I mean, until you've been on our side of the mask, you can't describe how much fun it is.
Oh, yeah,
The reactions are priceless.
Yes, most definitely.
It is. Ooh.
I think we had our Michael Myers we had at one time, and we had actors change. They come and go out there, and we've had a Michael Myers that was shorter than you, and it was like, what are we going to do? We going to put this guy on a ladder or something to give him that ambiance look, and then we've had Michael Myerses that were taller than both of us put together, but these actors look like he needed to be a Jason Voorhees other than a Michael Myers, but yeah, you got to have the right build, the right look, and man, you got it going on. I mean, you really have it going on, and I've showed a lot of people.
Thank you, sir. Like I said, I really appreciate it. I just enjoyed doing it. I don't know if I couldn't, even if I did it for so many years with no, I wouldn't say any recognition, because for the longest I never let anyone know. I would get in. I had a contact way, and I would have people that would send me emails and whatnot for me to come to particular locations or parties, around Halloween for that time of year, and they would never know who I was. Even the people that were inviting me didn't know who I was, because I had like an anonymous email account set up to where I kept that mystery. No one knew who I was.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. I like that. That is so sweet, man.
That's part of it. Once you know, lots of times, who's behind the mask, it loses some of the magic.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You got to.
I can't peel my face off though.
Yeah, yours is just there, with a little bit of goose.
They always
sticking
know
out.
who Diva is.
But I agree 100%, man. It's the mystery of the character. And you know, Michael Myers is a mystery, man. It's just, you know, with his character, I don't in the movies, I don't think they should have really told that much about it. They should have just let him, you know, be a mystery to everybody.
Exactly, and I guess that's kind of why I enjoy the remakes. Don't get me wrong, as far as, you know, what Rob Zombie did with the new installment of the series and the way Tyler Mane played the character.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just something about the first two, the originals, more so really the original than part two. You know, it starts off, he was a little boy that kills his sister, and then, you know, so many years later, he breaks out of the insane asylum, and he just goes on a killing spree. And you really have no understanding or no reason why.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the mystery of it. You know, you kind of wonder what goes on, and the audience is just riveted by, you know, they want more, but we're just going to give you just enough for you to hang on to.
Exactly.
And I enjoyed Rob Zombie's first remake, but I didn't really enjoy the second one. I couldn't really figure it out in some spots either.
It was a little confusing, and I'm like you. I prolonged and put off seeing it for as long as I could, and then finally when it came out on Blu-ray and everything, I picked up a copy of it and watched it at home, and I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It's still nowhere near a favorite or anything, but
Yeah.
I see what he was trying to do with it, but it was just way too much for most people to understand and really grasp. That just wanted to go see a Michael Myers movie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, something about a white horse and him hallucinating and all that stuff is just something I couldn't figure out. I was waiting to see Halloween 2 from where they was doing it in the hospital. And then
Exactly.
and then
and
they
that's my favorite part of it. The first of it, where she's in her dream sequence and she's in the hospital and everything, and that whole section, that's the best part of the movie, and that's why I stick with playing that particular Michael Myers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, the first one, you know, I remakes and, you know, and everything like that, you know, I was like, I was kind of interested in the beginning to see how they was going to do Nightmare on Elm Street, and then I was very much interested when I was getting ready to have the remake show up of Halloween. And I looked for certain things that happened in the original, and Rob Zombie was pretty good in the first Halloween as far as doing that things. Even, you know, right down to the Laurie looking out the window and seeing Michael standing in front outside by the school.
Yeah, he nailed a few of those classic scenes and the brutality of Michael.
Yeah.
In the remake.
But yeah, that's the kind of things I look forward to, and I really did pay attention to Rob Zombie's Halloween, this remake here, and I think he did a great job. And it's just with the second one, you know.
Exactly. I feel you 100%. I can watch it, but it's really I probably watch it more for Danielle Harris's portrayal in it than anything.
Yeah.
I'm a big Danielle Harris fan, so.
And I noticed on the pictures that you had your picture taken with her. I think that was probably at Horror Hound, wasn't it?
It was at that same Cincinnati Horror Hound in Cincinnati. That was the main draw for me to that show, was the Halloween 4 reunion that they were having. So you know, and that was I got a buddy of mine, actually two of them ended up going with me. And I'm like, we're going. So I mean, just pack your stuff.
Oh yeah.
Pack your stuff. We're leaving.
You know, the cover halls that I wore of Michael Myers when I did him at the trail, when I did it at the trail, I retired them and I never wore them.
Right.
And so when we found out that everybody was going to be at this convention, the Halloween 4 reunion, what Diva did is she took those cover halls and she had all the people from the Halloween movies sign it, even Malcolm McDowell from the remake when he did Dr. Loomis. And she has Kathleen Kinmont, Danielle Harris, you know, everybody, you know,
Sasha Jensen,
George Wilbers.
I was in line, and I remember seeing you with Diva getting it signed. I remember I was behind you when George Wilbur was signing them.
Yeah, okay, yep. Yeah, she treks that jumpsuit along wherever she goes.
Yep.
And you know what we're going to have to do.
I got about 9 of them on there now.
Yeah, and what she's going to have to do is, since Tyler Maine's coming to Days of the Dead,
I'll still get it.
she's going to have to get a gopher to run after her and get the autograph for her.
There you go. I've got a few things.
We can
myself,
take a-
'cause Tyler
we can
is
take
one
a
of the
break
few
and
that
go
has
do it.
eluded me, so I've got some items that I've got to get. I've got one of the 30 years of terror posted that I'm getting everyone's signatures on. So
Oh, cool.
I'll be hitting him up and getting his signature on a few items myself. So.
Yeah, yeah. We got a couple people that's going to run errands for us because we're not fans anymore. We're part of the show, so we can't go out and get those autographs. And
Yeah, see that's one of the harder things that I'm having coming to grasp with is not being able to enjoy the shows in the same manner that I did those early ones, where I would go costume for a while and then I would put my street clothes back on and go out and mingle with everybody and get the autographs and whatnot. It's becoming to where you've got to dedicate most of the time to the costume.
Exactly.
I got to get some more Walking Dead on my sash too.
Yeah.
I got my sash. I'm only putting Walking Dead people on there.
Yeah,
I've got to see your sash in person. I know I've heard you talk about getting everything. How many have you got on there now?
I've got 6 on my Walking Dead sash.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's Diva's premiere sash. I debut, whatever you want to say. That's the one that I wore, and I'm retiring that sash, and it's only going to be worn when I meet people from Walking Dead, so I can put more signatures on there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
The thing, I'm kind of looking forward to being in one spot this time, and
I am and I'm not, because like he said, the experience of going out and actually meeting the different stars and stuff and getting your autographs and stuff in person, there's a little bit of something there that you can't get from someone else running and getting your autograph for you.
Well, that is true, but I guess I'm just...
Exactly. Like I was able to get pictures with Danielle and most all of the Halloween 4 that were there while I was in costume, because when I was standing out in the lobby, I had a gentleman, he came running over there to me and grabbed my arm, and he said, "Do you care to come with me?" I said, "Yeah." It was one of the little Horrorhound security guys. I didn't know. I thought I'd done something wrong.
Uh-oh.
And, here, he grabbed me by the arm, dragged me in there into the main room where all the Halloween 4 people were lined up. And he said, "People over here are wanting to get their picture with you and Danielle Harris." So I ended up standing for almost an hour there at Danielle Harris's booth as people were getting their picture made with her and I both.
Wow.
That was like the highlight of my weekend when we
I
came
bet.
there, 'cause, I wanted to meet her, and then that happened and everything.
So do you have copies of
Yes.
those pictures too?
Ma'am?
You have those pictures?
I've only got one of myself with her, but there was how the people were lined up getting their autographs, and just
Right.
like as the people were getting her autograph, they would step over there and get a picture made with both of us.
Uh-huh.
It was like, I stood there for nearly an hour with the people in line that were getting her autographs. I've got the one picture of me and her, but as far as the other people, I didn't have copies of their pictures.
Yeah, I guess it probably just have to be the luck of the draw if you can just stumble upon them like on Facebook or something like
I
that.
have run across a few of them on Facebook, because it was like after that convention, my Facebook request blew up.
Ours
Yeah,
did
that's-
too.
Linking me through Jeff and Scott, DJ Trey and everything.
Yeah.
And then it just like, whew, it
Yeah,
blew.
wait till
And
your
I was
Facebook-
able to run across several of their pictures, but unfortunately I haven't been able to track down all of them.
Yeah.
Wait till your Facebook blows up after days. It'll take you days to just get
yeah,
through it.
yeah. When we come back from conventions, like I said, our Facebook lights up, but I'm just imagining what's going to happen to ours when we come back from
Yeah.
March. All of our guys.
That was just like a highlight for me, because like I said, that was the first convention that I'd ever been to, and then it was like, I had a certain number of friends, but then just that exposure, everybody, like I said, they would be tagged in some of Jeff's pictures, tagged in some of Scott, DJ Trey's pictures and everything, and then it was like, just the ball started rolling then, and like you said, after Atlanta here, hopefully that it's as big a hit as we're all planning on it being, and I think that we're going to be pleasantly surprised by the actual costuming turnout by the patrons in that area.
Oh,
I think so, too.
Most definitely. But like
some of the rumblings that I'm hearing, they're talking about this show here in Birmingham, which is just a little south of me here in Alabama. And, like I said, the word's already spreading out here. People planning on making the trip over there for the weekend and everything. So I think think it's going to be a pretty eventful show.
I think
oh,
so
yeah,
too.
Most definitely. You know, like I said before, you know, Monsters Among Us wouldn't be Monsters Among Us without a Michael Myers. And by golly, they have the right guy when they got you, Andrew. I am totally 100% thrilled that you can be a part of this, as well as, you know, Jeff and Trey and Larry and all the rest of us. And yeah, like I said, I hope we prosper from this, and I hope this is going to be a really good thing that will benefit all of us in the near future.
I agree, and I feel honored just to be a part of it and be included with the group. As I really had a loss for words to describe, you, Diva, and like you said, Larry, Jeff, Scott, everyone that's involved, Circus, and it's just going to be. I just feel honored to be in y'all's presence because it's going to be a once in a lifetime show. I think starting this Monsters Among Us off.
Oh, most definitely, man. Brother, it's time for us to shine. And I think that's what we're going to do. And we're going to bring them both guns, man, and we're going to give them a great show.
Exactly. People aren't going to know what hit them when they get in that room.
Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Because I know there is
Is
many...
someone bringing a fog machine?
I don't know.
Because I think someone should.
Yeah, I think we should have a little fog in that room, man, to give it that honor.
We'll make sure that if no one else is, I've got one that I can bring, so I'll probably go ahead and throw it in the vehicle just where we'll have it in case no one else
Yeah,
does.
we've got one too, but ours is the manual one. It's not an automatic kind.
But yeah, if you need extra fog juice,
I think
we got it.
mine's got the automatic timer I can set. I didn't even get to use it this Halloween because I didn't have time to set up my normal displays that I do with all the work in the haunted house and everything. But I believe mine does have the manual timer, so we'll be good.
That's cool.
Sure of that.
Great. Well, Andrew, I think that's about all the time we got, brother. Monsters Among Us, that Days of the Dead, come see the Boogeyman, Andrew Alexander. All right, before we go, Andrew, is there anything you'd like to plug? Any hellos you'd like to say?
Just want to give a shout out there to, of course, all my friends and family and all of my fellow Monsters Among Us brothers and sisters. And check me out on my Facebook if you haven't already. It's just Andrew Alexander, and you'll know me when you find me.
Awesome.
Hey, I appreciate it, man, Diva. Y'all have an awesome night, and I'll see you in Atlanta.
Andrew Alexander on the Nightmare Hour. Until next time, kiddies, keep on a slashing.